Hey, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to a brand new episode of Train with Sabia. This is a YouTube channel which I set up to share my own personal journey to fitness. A journey which I started way back in January. And since then, I have, alhamdulillah, been very grateful to see some fantastic results. I have managed to lose well over 25 kg, and I just would like to use this as a platform to share some of my experiences. Today, what I'd like to do is talk to you in a little bit more detail about a topic which came to my attention actually through an inbox on Facebook. Through a sister who shared with me some of the wonderful feedback she had for me about, since she's actually been following my journey, has actually inspired her to make some changes, which for me, alhamdulillah, is fantastic, because that actually motivates me more to carry on, and also actually fulfills the very purpose of me actually sharing this journey. So I would like to thank her for sending the message to me that she did, and also to everybody else who has been so overwhelmingly kind to me. And I've had messages from people from all over the world, from different walks of life, who have actually gone out of their way to send me a message to encourage me to keep going, and actually thank me for inspiring them to make some changes. So thank you to everybody who has supported me so far on this journey, because you've been overwhelmingly fantastic for me in terms of motivation, and your words of kindness, of support, have really helped me every step of the way. So thank you. But today I want to talk to you about this particular message, which was from a sister who said that she was very moved by some of my posts that inspired her to make some changes, but she was incredibly afraid. Now, when I read this message, I could understand where she was coming from immediately. She was afraid to make changes. She was afraid of failure. What had happened was, she explained to me she had done previous diets and she was able to stick to them for a little while, and then she'd fall off. Now, I resonated with this immediately, because I myself have a history of chronic dieting behind me, so I remember how I felt way back in January. I remember feeling exactly the same as this sister. I was absolutely petrified of starting again, because I was successful in the past with previous diets, for 1 or 2 months, see some results, and then I would eventually fall off and go back to my previous ways. And this fear kept me from starting. But what I would like to do today is actually talk about this fear of failure. What it is that what is it that is actually holding you back? You have to dig deep within yourself. You have to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Are you afraid of the process? Are you afraid of being hungry? Are you afraid of money? Are you afraid of the results? Are you afraid of change? Because sometimes it could even just be that. Are you afraid of making changes? Because as human beings, we get so accustomed to our lifestyles, we become comfortable. You could be at a stage where you would quite like to want to see some, be in a different size or in a different place in your life, but the actual journey to get there, you want the end package, but are not committed to make the changes to get there. So if you're afraid, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm afraid of? Dig deep. If it's the process, learn more about what it is that you're doing at the moment that you need to make changes to align it with, to get you to where you want to be. So unless you ask yourself these questions, if you don't ask yourself, you will never understand, and you will, all this time that you spend thinking, worrying, wanting, is time you could spend actually doing. And that's where you want to be. do the things that you want to do to get where you'd like to be one day. Now, this fear of failure is actually a lie, an absolute lie. There's nothing to be scared of. There's everything to gain and nothing to lose. What could be better than eating healthier, moving around more, doing exercise, which is going to benefit you? And it's quite easy when all of these things are happening in your head, we blow things out of proportion. So what my advice would be, and what actually helped me, was to actually talk about it. Now, you can talk to a friend. You can even write it down. If you don't want to talk to anybody, write it down. Write down what it is that you want and what it is that you think is holding you back. So once you have it in front of you in black and white, you're in a much more empowered position to actually tackle these things. Because then if they're in black and white in front of you, you can actually find solutions to these problems. And then you are automatically in a position of power. And knowledge is power. And now, I am going to tell you something. I promise you it's going to be worth it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I can't promise you that. I can't promise you that. But I can promise you that it most definitely will be worth it. If you're in an environment where people are encouraging you, you will be more motivated to carry on. If you happen to be in an environment where people are not encouraging you, make your new environment. If you use social media, that's fantastic. There's plenty of people out there, plenty of people who willingly share motivational tips, who willingly are people themselves who are very motivated, and they will rub off on you. Another thing that I would say is, when you pray, ask God to help you. He will never leave his servant empty-handed. And those type of affirmations, you keep reminding yourself how much you want this, and before you know it, you will be in a much more better cycle of repeating good behavior, and until it becomes your lifestyle. Because you have to move away from an attitude of it being a diet. This is a lifestyle. So get that list together, have a quiet space for yourself, make yourself a nice cup of tea, herbal tea, I love them, yeah? Make yourself a nice cup of tea and think about what it is that you think is holding you back. Be honest with yourself, because then you can actually then look back and actually see how you can tackle some of these issues. Okay, so hopefully you found this of benefit. I'd love to hear back from you where you are in your journey. I have messages, like I said, all the time from people from different walks of life who message me, sending me offers of their prayers, their support. I'd like to hear from you. If you found this video to be of benefit to you, I'd love to hear from you. And wish you all the best in your own personal pursuit of fitness. Okay, thank you very much, and inshallah I'll hear from you soon. Until the next video, Assalamu alaikum, bye.